Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into the no new batch teams, no worldwide celebration batch teams for the 10-star KIZUNA against Robin and Giampier for the new 5-star X-Drake. Like I said, in today's video, we are using no new batch. I did put out a preparation video for these particular teams, and I've basically just dove in with these particular teams super raw. So, all of the teams in the video do use a Toby Ropo friend captain. However, the way I've designed the 5 units that you own, they're the only units you actually need. You can bring a double Kaido build. That'll work absolutely fine. But if you can find Toby Ropo, like, that's just going to give you more points. Now, on the dex variation, as you can see here, we come up against Nami on stage 2. She has 5 turns of resilience and 5 turns of defense up. You just want to make sure that you actually swap the spots of Buggy and Giampier with Big Mom and the lead performers. That way, you're guaranteed to just keep all the 1 orbs on this particular turn. It just works really, really nicely, and you can just tap with your 3 units on the left-hand side, and that way you just get the 1 orbs back. Because you have 3 strength characters and quick orbs become Wano. On stage 2, you get all orbs unfavorable, so that works out quite nicely. That way, when you move into this stage, you don't have to worry about any shenanigans with all your orbs. However, if you use the special of the Toby Ropo, it is going to rotate your orbs. So if you don't want to do what I'm doing here and just keep like 1 orb off, that's going to work well too. But you can actually use the lead performers to trigger the orb rotation interrupt first. If you rotate orbs, you actually get super block orbs, I believe. Or it might just be like regular block orbs. And if you get regular block orbs, it's kind of whatever, to be honest. There's no super issues whatsoever, but at the end of the day, like, it is a little bit annoying to deal with. But with Big Mom, she's going to give you a monster orb buff. She gives you a very small color affinity boost as well. So that means when you use the Toby Ropo special, you actually get 2 turns of an attack boost. However, if you don't use the Toby Ropo special, then that's absolutely fine. I would just try and bring another unit that gives you an attack buff. Whether you want to run double Kaido or not is up to you. But like I said, having another unit that's going to give you another buff is going to work nicely, and just another attack booster as your friend captain is going to be great. Something like Burgess would be an awesome option, but as you guys can see here, we are using Toby Ropo. There is a 1 orb barrier, but as you can see, like, once we break the 1 orb barrier, there's a lot of damage in this particular team. Alright, so moving on to strength now, and strength is a little bit more challenging because there is blindness, and with blindness, a lot of people don't like it. However, just turn sound on and use a ship that makes it easier to hit perfects, and you will be okay. This is a great way to practice, I guess. And with KIZUNA's, remember, your alliance members can save you, so hopefully if you guys stuff up every now and again, you have your alliance there ready to go to actually pick up your assists. So this particular team, again, we're using Toby Ropo as a friend captain. However, if you don't have Toby Ropo as a friend captain, don't stress. You can just run another super type Kaido, because just like the last team, every unit that you own on this team is going to clear the mission. Depending on how high you want to go and how high you can get is dependent on where your friend captain comes into play. But the big upside to Toby Ropo on this team is Toby Ropo is giving you an attack boost. So I actually stuffed this run up, and we still have enough damage, but I'll explain once we actually get there. On stage 2, you come up against Frankie. He puts up 5 turns of thresholds. He has an Intimidate for chain boundary or chain lock, and he gives you an attack down if you below a 3 times chain. So this is where you really want to have something like Shank Screw. Shank Screw is great because you can actually get a 3.5 times chain lock, and that is going to easily get above that that nuisance of a barrier. Now on this final stage, there is the barrier and damage null, defense up, and the blindness. If you do any damage here, you are going to remove that damage null, which is great. But then you apply a pain. So ideally, you want to use Blackbeard and Alba before you use that Kaido special that you guys just saw there. Because I used Kaido first, it actually triggered the pain debuff, and you take 49,000 pain, which is a lot of damage. However, if you use Blackbeard first and then Alba, it's not going to trigger. And then you just need to use the Kaido special. Then you can use the Toby Ropo special, and you'll be absolutely hunky-dory. Hell, you can even use the super type of Kaido as well, because you take a bunch of damage, and you will get below a certain threshold of HP. But just remember, once you use the Alba special, it is going to put you at a 60% HP cut. So just be very careful of how much HP you actually have when you get to that particular point. But as you guys can see there, it's a nice cheeky dub there. Move on to the final fight. And for the final variation, we are versing Int, and there was something that I overlooked in my video. I forgot to put a damage reduction unit. So you can replace Zoro on this team with any unit that triggers the Kid super type, but also gives you damage reduction. Or you can just do exactly what I did and just put the Brook support on him. Again, I'm not going to be banging my head against the wall with this content any more than I need to. So, if you guys can think of a replacement, that's going to work out great. Again, if you have Toby Roper as a friend captain, you're going to get more drops. However, if you don't, this team still will work. You can run double Kid. You can run another captain that gives you something. As long as it's just buffing your entire team, that's going to be the idea. Now, on turn 2, you do want to use the super type of Kid, so that way, as a captain, you can get through that damage reduction. If you get a Wano Orb on Kid on the first turn, make sure to get rid of it. You do not want a Wano Orb, and if you don't get a Wano Orb, make sure to not tap with Kid, because you definitely want to keep that Super Bomb Orb. That way, you can actually remove the damage reduction with his amazing captain ability, and it works out an absolute treat. We're going to use Sugar on this stage to lock those orbs. That way, we can keep the Super Bomb slots for the final stage, so we can actually do that exact same thing once again. However, if you bring a Toby Roper fan captain, you can get around the damage reduction. It works out really nicely, and you're going to be in for a really good time, but it is what it is. You can even replace, actually, no, Giampier doesn't count, never mind. Make sure to use the Shanks and Buggy special first if you are using Toby Roper as a friend captain. But look, it doesn't really matter which way you go about it, because Shanks and Buggy, they're going to be a 2-tone color affinity booster. Toby Roper, your attack booster, but Kid's an attack booster. You have an orb boost with Sugar. Zoro, you have to use his special on this turn because you get special reversed and you get fear after you do kill. So the 40% revive is going to eventually catch up with people. So this is why you want to have 2-tone buffs, and that's why having stuff like Toby Roper as a friend captain, you get 2 turns of an attack buff, you get 2 turns of a chain buff. Shanks Buggy, you get 2 turns of a color affinity buff. If you have the Grand Zoro ship, you can carry over the chain boundary as well from Sanji, and it should all work out pretty nicely. So as you can see on death, you do take, I think, around 100,000 damage, so be very careful there, and that's where that Brook support comes in absolute clutch. You're going to get special reverse on the revive and fear, but look, at the end of the day, it's not going to matter that much. You should have enough damage to kill. So that's going to wrap up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there, belt the like button for me, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.